everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Monday the 29th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day outside. Started off a little chilly, warmed up nice though. In the sun it was warm, in the shade it was definitely chilly, so it was one of those crazy days where I ended up having more time with my jacket on than I probably really needed to, but I'd rather be warm than cold. I've been like extra cold lately. I don't know if something changed my body as I'm getting older, or if I picked up like a weird allergy, or who the hell, I don't know, but it's got my body. I've been freezing cold throughout this fall, going into early winter here, many times, and it's absolutely killing me. I hate it. So we'll have to see what happens here, but went ahead, got a couple things done, got this morning stupid early, had the puppy coming, so got up, got around, met him. I had that weird thing where I'd basically woke up and thought I had overslept, like I thought I slept through my alarm. So I had that panic attack, like, oh shit, what the hell? And I was like an hour and like 8 minutes early than what I need to be. I was like, shit, that's not the right time. So went ahead, got up, let the dog out real quick, went back, tried to lay back down, didn't get much sleep there, really didn't happen very well. So but I did finally get up. I had the dogs here, let them all out. I got 3 puppies here, plus Bruce. So I got the new puppy in. Did my best to keep them quiet. Didn't go splendidly well, but I did decent. Ended up keeping them down till everybody else got awake, and then let the dogs go outside and play at Ruff's house, have a great time. Everything was going really well. Had a couple other things get done. My wife headed off to work. Just basically just spent a day with puppies. Like, it was all about the puppies, and today was the give back day. One of the dogs was supposed to go home yesterday, got pushed back an extra day, and then the other 2 dogs were supposed to go home today. And I had to also go walk a new dog. So went to walk the dog. I watched the dog at my house. I kind of remember the dog, but not a lot. So I get there. I haven't seen the dog in, I don't know, 2 years or how long it's been since I watched this dog. Come in the house and the dog's all barking and stuff like crazy. And I'm like calling the dog over. Didn't realize they had the dog in the crate. So we let the dog out of the crate. It was trying to like bark and bite at me and stuff. Like when it's in the crate there, I was like, hey, what the hell? So I stood there for a minute like, what are you doing? She's like looking at me like, well, I'm gonna get you. And I'm like, so I went over and grabbed the leash off the counter. That I had brought my own leash because I like to use my leash because I trust my leash more than other people's, and I want my 15-foot retractable. And I walked over to him and I was like, hey, we're gonna have a problem here? And he's looking at me like just growling and snarling at me, and I'm like, dude, we can have this shit. Like, I ain't gonna have it. I'm like, this is not gonna get good for you. Not good for me either, but it's not gonna get good for you. So let him out of the crate, and he comes. He's like, what the hell? So I basically got let him sniff me and stuff a little bit, and he calmed down. Got the collar hooked, got the leash hooked on the collar, and didn't bother putting the harness on him. Just said, held it, took off for a walk, went got a walk in. Was warm in the sun. Again, this walk, so there's no shade in this little housing complex they live in. Not an ounce of shade anywhere. They're actually building another housing complex off the side of it, so I walked that line, the new streets and stuff, and man, there is no yards. They don't want people to have any yard apparently anymore. Like, it's just enough grass that you need to own a lawnmower, but you can mow it with a weed eater quicker probably. It's absolutely ridiculous how small these yards are, and I could not imagine living my life that way with no property at all. It just drives me crazy. So I'm literally just going, this actually would be a bad spot right here if I could have like 6 of their lots. Like, I would need literally 6 of their lots. And I assume as small as they are, if they're going to have any size of these buildings at all, it's got to be 2 stories, because there's just not enough square footage on the ground to put a real house in there. So I don't know how it's going to work out for them, but it is what it is. So the dog basically walked around stuff, walked around with our retention ponds, the original housing complex they're in, and the dog took off like he's going to just go swimming. Like, he went right straight for that water, like, let's go. And I was like, what the hell are you doing, buddy? So I was like, no, calm down, man. So we got him back up. He shit like 3 times. He's facing diarrhea problems. I'm not sure what's up with that. Peed like 14 times. He was literally peeing on everything. Marked his territory. He's an unneutered male, and he had no pee left. He was just squirting air. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing happening here. You're being an idiot. So got him back to the house. He seemed to do pretty good. Put him back in the crate. Gave him a couple little treats. He was happy with that. I gave him some water also. He drank a little bit. Didn't really seem to care. And then basically I headed back home. Got a couple other things taken care of. Hung out with the dogs, just playing with them and stuff. Van did really good today with the dogs. Normally he's been kind of a little on the ornery side when it comes to the dogs and stuff. He likes to hump a little too damn much, so we had some issues with that. Floki was supposed to go home between 11 and noon, and this is now well after 1, and I haven't heard from them yet. So I text up, I'm like, hey, just checking, what time you pick the dogs up and stuff. And you put down, pick up 11 to 1 or 11 to noon. It's already past 1. Just wondering what's going on. She goes, oh no, I thought I was picking up later, so I dropped them off later. I said, no, it's perfectly fine. You pick up anytime you want today. I'm not going out of town or nothing. I just need to know what's happening because you had it down for 11 to noon. She goes, my daughter's going to pick him up, so I'm working today, and da-da-da. So she contacted the daughter, and the daughter's like, I can go get him right now. And I'm like, okay, cool, no big deal. So she had to wait for I think it's the mom's boyfriend to get up. I'm not sure what it is. But I guess her son had been really sick, had been thrown up in diarrhea, so she had to wait for him to get up so he could watch the son, because she didn't want to bring the boy with him, make him leave the house. I think they live 20, 30 minutes away. Like, they live quite a good little chunk away from how sure they are. So she showed up, and the woman's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's all good. Like, I just didn't know what happened. Like, I just try to plan my day. Like, I gotta go run at some point today. I want to get it all figured out. The other dog, Winnie was supposed to be picked up at like 3. I'm like, no problem. Which then Floki got picked up about 3. So we'll be there about a half an hour. And it was like 2:30. I'm like, okay, they're both gonna get here at the same time. Kind of pain in the butt, but it is what it is. So I got them all their stuff put out front. She showed up, pick up Floki. Chatted, real nice, young lady. I'm not sure how old she is. She's got a kid that looks like about 7, so I don't know how old she is, but she's younger than I am, I'll put it that way, stuff. But we chatted and talked and stuff, wonder had a good time, just talking about how the dog did, talking about their trip, talking about all that kind of fun stuff. She apologized also for being late. I said, no, it's not a big deal. I just didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe something happened to you guys. So went ahead, everything was chill there. From there, basically she left. Shortly after that, just a few minutes later, they showed up to pick up Wendy, and I kind of felt bad because the dude shows up to pick up his dog, and the dog acts like he don't give a shit who he is. Like, Floki was happy to see the daughter, at least, and whatnot, but when he didn't act like she gave a damn that guy was there to pick her up. So it took her 3 times to even come over and sniff him. He's like, oh, I guess I do kind of, guy. Then wandered off, come back to me. And it was funny because he's coaxed her to the truck, and I felt like, come on, let's go to the truck. She's like, okay, gross. It's all petted by me, and I'm like, man, that's kind of bad when your dog gives up on you that quick. I've had this dog not even a week, whatever it's been now. That dog straight up don't give a damn about you one bit. He's laughing. He goes, yeah, I guess I don't know if she really cares. She bonds quickly, but she doesn't bond long term. She'll bond back to me by tomorrow. She'll be fine again, but she'll forget about you real fast, man. You ain't giving her belly rubs. She'll give up on you real fast. So we had a good laugh and chuckle about that. Kind of felt a little bad for the dude though. I was like, that ain't cool. So headed back inside. The Great Dane puppy was supposed to get picked up. They were talking 5 o'clock. She texted and said, hey, can I pick the dog up at 4? And I said 100%. That worked great. So she showed up, picked up the dog. We chatted and talked and stuff about how good the dog did, all kinds of fun things there, and everything was going well. And it all worked out. Talked about her trip and everything else and how happy she was that she didn't have to worry about the dog or nothing and whatnot. So everything was good with it. She headed out. I went ahead and went for my run, so I wanted to get my run done. Got back. It was time to pick up Van Gogh about that time, so I didn't bother jumping in the shower. Wait till after he picked up the dog to take my shower. We chatted a little also, and then told him about how his dog was all sad because everything else went home. And for the first time in, I don't know, a long time, my house is empty except for my own Great Dane. All I have is my Great Dane and my mother, of course, but it felt weird in the house. It really had that weird feeling crap, but it's just empty. It's just, there's nothing going on. And it's not empty, my Great Dane's still there. But for the most part, he don't give a damn. He don't make any noise, he don't do shit. He'll just lay there on the couch all damn day and won't care. He'll go outside and pee a couple times, and that's about it. So, but if I want to roughhouse and play with him, he will also. But for the most part, it gets real quiet and doesn't make a lot of noise. So I'm like, well, that's kind of crazy. But it had just that weird, eerie feeling. It really was. So grabbed my shower. My mom was making pork chops and stuffing and cream corn, bits of cream corn left over and whatnot. So went ahead and she made the pork chops. She asked, when she should start making them. I said, don't start them until Karen says she's on her way home, because they're not going to take that long, and we have no idea how late she's going to work. So this makes life a whole lot easier if we just leave it alone and wait for her to get. So I was already out of the shower and stuff. I was hanging around a little bit, just kind of doing a bunch of nothingness. And my wife said she's on her way home, so I texted my mom and said, hey, start the pork chops if you could. So went ahead, and wife got home. We had pork chops for dinner, stuffing, cream corn left over, and basically had herself a great little evening. My wife's back's been killing her day. She had kind of a stressful day, whatever, didn't do well for her. I don't know if she didn't sleep good either, but it was just kind of what it was. So she was basically not feeling great. So after dinner, she went and got herself a shower and chilled out a little bit there, and then decided to head to bed early. So she said to hell with it, and just said, I'm going to bed now. So it was I don't know, 7:30, like that maybe. She was already in bed by probably 7:15 or so. She was in bed, didn't go to sleep right away, but I think she dozed on and off. I finally came back inside. I went out on the patio, just said hell with it, leave her alone, wouldn't be there bugging her, making noise and stuff, and keeping her awake. Went out to the back deck and basically had myself a cigar. The dog came out for a little bit. Mom let him out. And I'm like, what the hell? She's like, he went out. And I'm like, no, he walked by your door to see where you're at. Yeah, he didn't come out. And she like reads weight. He walks near his food dish. Oh, he's out of it. I'm like, he's just food. He walks near the dining room. Hell, he wants to go outside. And I'm like, no, he don't. He was outside for 3 minutes and starts growling and barking at me like he wants to go back inside and whining like a little bitch because it's cold out. He don't want to be outside. So I'm like, oh, you made her bring you out here, so you got to stay out here now. So it is what it is. He went ahead, basically chilled out there for me a little bit, like just. I mean, he was all mad. He's stuck outside. So, but it is what it is. There, I headed inside finally. Like I said, a little after 10. Decided to watch a episode of Mad About You with my wife. She was kind of been dozing off, and she was woke up by me when I came in. So we watched an episode of Mad About You, and she dozed off right about the finish. Like I saw, you kind of keep an eye on her stuff. She fell asleep. So I watched another episode of another show, and the one that she doesn't care about, doesn't watch. And then from there, finally wrapped it up and called it a night. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.